All right. Shalom and welcome, Rabbi Mordecai and Rabbi Zion Lexx. Thank you for having me speak here today, this evening. Igbos, first of all, I am the president of Igbo Jewish communities in Nigeria. We have a lot of communities, splinter groups, but I am the kind of conglomerate head of the whole all the communities. So we'll have a group who do our meeting from time to time and take decisions on what and what not to do. And I am a rosh of a synagogue in Lagos, a major synagogue in Lagos. If you come to Nigeria, at least the top 3 synagogues in Nigeria, that Israel is one of them. So now Igbos are Hebrews. I kind of draw back a bit to say Jews, because when you say Jews, a lot of macloquet comes inside. They will tell you what makes somebody a Jew, but when you say a Hebrew, it's different. So, and because the term Jew is not a name used by the whole Israel until maybe after the time of Ezra or so, or the time of Ezra when they came from Babylon, or when they were in Babylon, the tribe of Yehuda and Benjamin went to Galut in Babylon, and they started referring to them because Judah was now the predominant person and name and personality there. So they refer them as like people of Yehuda, so that Yehuda, Judah now took a name Jews, and it became prominent. And from there, any person that prophesies the heritage of Torah, they call you Jew. So, and why I don't want to say Jew now is that when you say Jew, our brothers, the Ashkenazi and the Sephardim, will tell you the criteria to be a Jew. They'll tell you, for you to be a Jew, that only your mother must have to be a Jew. Then it becomes a big argument. Meanwhile, may I know that for somebody to be a Hebrew, it does not mean that your mother must be a Hebrew. For example, the sons of Moshe Rabbeinu, they were not, Zipporah was not from Israel. She was from Midian. And they became Jew, or they became Hebrew, or whatever I want to call it, and so on and so forth. So now they change it. So that is why I don't want to just say that the Igbos are Jews. We only say we are Jews just for discussion's sake, so we can be able to contain and entertain ourselves in discussion. But in the actual sense, we are Hebrews.
Come on.
Because Hebrew takes a broader spectrum of it, and Hebrew has its own specific criteria. Yes, a convert can be a Hebrew and so on and so forth, but it must not just be that your mother must be a Hebrew or so. No, because if you look at it, Moshe, like Albania said, the Zipporah was from Media, and so on. So that is why I say we Igbos, we are Hebrews. And when the kingdom of Israel divided into 2, the 10 tribes, the northern kingdom, went, they call it Nidhe Israel. They went into Africa. They went into the land of Cush, Ham, and they stayed there. Hashem preserved them there. So they had already gone far long ago before that the nomenclature Jew came to be. Because when the 10 tribes of Israel were together, they wanted like a Jew. They were all Klal Israel. And these people, they have already left, and they are somewhere in Africa, Central and West Africa and Southern Africa. Hashem, he said, need hear Israel, these people of Israel, set apart Israel. He put them there for a certain reason. So he put them there. When these people change their nomenclature, there's no problem with it. But nomenclature you change must not be that other people must take up the nomenclature. And now when we're talking about, if I say I'm not a Jew, I'm a Hebrew, it shouldn't bring a maclocate. They should understand the reason why I am saying what I say. So the Igbos are Hebrews who Hakadosh Baruch Hu put in this part of the world for a specific reason and project. And the project he's been carrying on with it, no delays, no missing word. Everything that has happened from when the Igbos left to until now has been the way Hakadosh Baruch Hu wants it. Igbos came down here in different droves. It's not in one wave. If we go to the Gemara and so on, when Moshe Rabbeinu came to Egypt to bring out the children of Israel out of Egypt, it's not all Israel that agreed to follow him. They said only 1/5 followed Moshe Rabbeinu. 1/5, which is 20%. So if 1/5 followed Moshe Rabbeinu out, then it means that 4/5 remained there, and they didn't remain there because if they remained there, Pharaoh would kill them. What they remained there means that they remained in Africa. Yes, because if the 4/5 remained there, when Hashem overthrew Pharaoh and his host in the Sea of Reeds, after he was frustrated, he was angry, he went back to Egypt. If the 4/5 were there, he would have slaughtered all of them.
That's right.
So because they were not there, so he didn't slaughter them, Hakadosh Baruch Hu moved the 4/5 into the land of Eretz Kush to preserve them for his own project. Because Hakadosh Baruch Hu has a project he's running, and humankind might think they are important in it. You're only just a tool in the project he's running. You might look like you're the president, you're this, but you're just a tool. Hashem sees the big picture. He knows what he wants. He plays it how he wants to play it. You're only a partaker, and you're lucky if you're a tool he's using to write. It's not that it's a right you can brag about. No. The Rabbonim in Israel today, they're only a tool in his hand for what he wants to achieve. It's not like a bragging right. So the people he took away and put in a Eretz Kush, the 4/5, they didn't go with Moshe. They came and stayed. Now the 1/5 now moved to Eretz Israel. When they got there, other things happened. Other people migrated down to Igbo land again. Now, what you will understand is that in the year 70 CE, when the temple came down and everything, after the siege of Jerusalem and everything, the people who did it was the kingdom of Rome, Roman Empire. And the Roman Empire, it comes from Europe. It's coming from the north. So he came with war and everything. So when he came with war, Israel didn't just start with him. People were escaping. And the only place for them to escape to was south. And that south was Mizraim. Because Rome was coming from up. So when you tell me that during the siege of Israel, that the people escaped into Europe, you're not telling us the truth. That is, you have distorted the history. Because these people were coming with war and fire and a lot of wrath from the north. Come from Rome all the way, they come through Syria and axis of Lebanon and that axis, and they were coming. The only way for the people in Israel to escape was to escape into Egypt. And that Egypt was Kemet, it was Kush, it was Africa. So when they went into Egypt, Egypt was already a kingdom. They only took there as a passage route, not that they went to dwell or sojourn in Egypt. They went after Egypt, they emptied into Sahara Desert, and Sahara Desert is not very habitable. By intuition, they moved down further south and they came to the coast of West Africa. Some went down to Central Africa towards the Congo River and so on, and they found life there. So the Igbos came down and stayed there, and they made their life. Now, Why do I say it's Hashem's project? People don't understand this when Hashem speaks sometimes. Hashem told our father Abraham, he said, your descendants will serve as slaves in a land that they knew not. Zion, is that not what he said?
That's right. That's exactly what he said.
In a land, in a strange land. And now, Israel and Egypt, they are neighbors. So if Egypt is the place that Hakadosh Baruch Hu said a land they knew not, it is not possible because you know your neighbor. Like now you are in America, you know Canada, you know Mexico. Maybe you have not been there, but you know they exist. So
Yes.
if children of Israel, Hashem told them, I will take you into slavery because of the things you've done, into a land that you know your fathers knew not. How can it be Egypt? It's not Egypt.
Well, I just want to say one point, not to break up Rav Keisha's, because he's on fire right now. He's just spitting fire. This is historical information that we're getting right now. This is rare. This is maybe a once in a lifetime opportunity to hear it directly from the traditions of the people in the tribe in real time. But what we're hearing right now, there's commentaries, there's Rashi, there's Rambam, there's Ramban, there's Seferno, there's Or HaChaim, there's tons of commentary, and what we're hearing right now is the commentary from the Israelite tribes, the Hebrew tribes in the west of Africa, and how they understand the transatlantic slave trade. This is a historic moment, and we should just recognize what's happening right now. Please, Rabbi Kish.